Yo, what's good YouTube? Welcome back to another devlog. Today's devlog is going to work a little bit differently. Normally, as you guys already know, I like to create something and then record it and then compile all the videos together at the end. But this time, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot to do that for like half the stuff that was made. So yeah, we decided I was gonna do it this way, where I pretty much showcase everything that was done over the past month and all at once. So yeah, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and the game's Discord server will be in the description for anyone wondering. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to be just showcasing a lot of the broad stuff that you can probably already tell. So as you can see, we got some new UI, and obviously we have a map in development. The map, you probably saw like a clip of it at the start of the video. If not, I'll add it here now. But yeah, I think the map looks really good so far, and yeah, I'm going to be explaining kind of like what the UI is looking like. So obviously the red bar here is your health. It's pretty obvious. This bar here is your posture bar. So the little yellow bar there is your posture bar. Obviously I don't have an NPC yet to show the posture increase, but like that is your posture bar and it increases and whatnot. The bars on the left, one of them is going to be like for a mode. So when we say mode, it's not like an actual transformation or whatever, but it's kind of like a mode to help when you're getting 2v1 or like 3v1 or whatever. So for an example, say you're getting hit by multiple people at once, that bar will fill up, and then the higher the bar fills up, you get like buffs to help you win like unfair fights and stuff like that. I feel like it's a cool system that we plan on adding, and yeah, it kind of helps with like, you know, making the game more fun for like solo players and whatnot. As you can see on the right, we have current stance. So if you guys remember back in Devlog 1, I was talking about how I plan on having stances in the game. You have different stances, and each time you switch between the stances, you get different abilities. And those stance abilities can be used to counter other stance abilities, which is gonna be how I'm thinking the game is gonna be like on Roblox. So for an example, this could be one stance, then there will be different idle animations dictating which stance you're currently in, and the different stances give you different like buffs in combat. For example, this stance could be a balance stance, then it could be another one that can increase your speed, another one that can focus on damage, etc. And those stances will obviously come with downsides as well. Whereas this stance is like I guess you could say the base stance with no debuffs at all. What I also like is I made it so when you get hit, you get combat tagged. I don't have an actual like UI to show that you're in combat. So like for now, if you get hit, I just made it so like the little current stance icon changes to red. Here we go. I was wondering why it couldn't hit me. As you can see, it changes to red, which I think is pretty cool. But when I actually get UI at the top, it's going to show that, like, you know, in combat and how much time remaining. Like currently, I think the combat tag is like 60 seconds, and I made it so like whenever you get whenever you get hit while you're already in combat, it just resets back to 60 seconds. I might decrease it though, because I feel like 60 seconds is quite a lot. But yeah, that's what we got so far. All right, the next thing that I made, which I thought was pretty cool, is I made a blood system. I might have to change a few things about it because I feel like Roblox might ban the game or something, because Roblox is weird when it comes to like blood and stuff. But I made it so when you hit an enemy or like you take damage from an enemy, blood like shoots out. So you can see there. I think I made it like random between 1 and 3. So there's a chance for like 3 pieces of blood to come out, one or two, etc. So you can see I can hit the NPC, the blood comes out. You can see there. I think it looks pretty good. Obviously there's still some changes to be made. You can see there Chief came out, and yeah, I think I like the way it came out, and I also reduced the amount of blood that actually comes out of the normal attack. So if you notice in the previous devlog or devlog 1 and 2, when you hit an enemy, a lot of blood came out. But bear in mind, by the way, I just have to mention this, the clashing system is being changed, because I hate the way you can just continuously clash. I'm gonna have to edit that, but you can see here like the blood will land, and like it kind of lands on surfaces and walls and stuff. So if I were to like spawn an NPC next to a wall, the blood could actually like stain the wall or like a tree or something, right? So if I spawn an NPC here, so as you can see there, I hit him and then the blood kind of came on like the wall there. I think it looks pretty cool. And if you noticed on my back, I also have a bow and arrow. And there is a reason for that, because the way we plan for combat to be in this game is obviously it's going to be like katana based, but there's going to be different kinds of katanas that you can use in the game. But we're also going to have different kinds of different bow and arrows. So the way the bow and arrows are going to work is you're going to be able to switch to your bow inside of combat, and then your bow is obviously used for long range damage. Obviously the damage won't be that good, but I also made a bow system, which I'm going to be showing now. All right, so for the projectile system, I made it so like, yeah, it shoots out an arrow, obviously from your position. So you go here and it shoots at an arrow and it lands on the floor. I think it looks pretty cool. Obviously this arrow I just found it from the two box because I don't really have one yet, but you can see here it kind of shoots and I can use the Bezier curve to like, you know, curve to the ground. And what I also made it do was it can also like land on walls and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. So if I would have a wall here and I placed it there, you can see it kind of like lands on the wall, and I think it kind of like this looks pretty cool. Obviously I still need to make it delete the actual arrows on the floor because obviously if there's like 1,000 arrows we'll just end up breaking the game. Yeah, that's how the system is gonna look. Obviously we haven't added the bow yet. Maybe in the next devlog bow combat will be done. We just have to see because obviously you don't know what the future entails. Right, so back in the main world, there's a couple of things I wanted to show, which is why I came back to this world. So for an example, when your character gets like 20% HP, I think it is, you kind of get like stains of blood on your armor, which I think is pretty cool. So if I were to get low to this NPC here, you can kind of see now your character kind of gets like your armor and your clothing kind of gets like bloodied up, which I think is cool. But again, I need to like figure out if Roblox is gonna like, you know, bug out over this, because obviously Roblox is like a lot of younger people on the game, so I don't know if they'll actually like allow this kind of stuff. But I do see other games do it, so obviously we're gonna have to just figure out the hard way, I guess. Another thing that I did was I made it so like the bowstring, you can see here, you're actually able to move it. So if I were to do this, you can see the bowstring actually stretches, and I think it's pretty cool, which makes it so that when I do the actual bow combat, you can see the bowstring stretch, which I think is a really cool system. Oh yeah, I also forgot, I made roll cancelling. I saw somebody's comment in the Devlog 2 and it says to make roll cancelling, kind of like deep oaking and stuff. So if you like dash to the side, you can cancel the roll, which just deletes pretty much all the velocity that was added, and like makes it so you're able to attack earlier. So like to show, if I were to like, for example, attack here normally, you can see it attacks. Then if I were to dash and then attack, you can see that there's a little second where I can't attack. Whereas if I were to roll cancel, I can basically attack instantly without having to stop, and I still get the full amount of iframes for rolling, which I think is like pretty cool. I also ended up making a zone system. So obviously I already unlocked all of the zones now, but if I were to enter a zone, you can see here world discover 67%. If I enter this zone, world discover 67%. Then when I enter the last zone, you can see now the world discovered is 100%. And what I made it also do, which I think is pretty cool, is whenever a zone is added or deleted, it like manually adjusts. So say you have 100% unlocked now, and I added like, you know, 3 more zones, it would only be 50%. That way I don't really have to change none of the code. It just kind of dynamically updates depending on how many zones I add to the world. And I think that's about it. I'm not gonna lie, there's probably some other things that I've changed, because the majority of the things that I was changing was like not backend, but like stuff that you can't really see. Like I was changing the way the combat system was, and a couple of other things that you can't really see and I can't really show. So yeah, that's about it for the devlog for now. Like I said before, when this whole series is done, I do plan on like open sourcing a lot of the stuff that I created. So if you guys are interested, join my Discord server, as well as the game's Discord server, which will be in the description, top link, and comments. So yeah, drop a like on the video, subscribe, and yeah, without further ado, yeah.